Woo! It's the boy, Bubba Lutz, coming through. Hella clutch, flawless, can't be touched. It's your boy, Bubba Lutz. Yeah, I need that hot take. I need the truth and everything that is not fake. So tell me.
Welcome back, Bubba Bunch, to another edition of the Bubba Lutz Sports Podcast, episode 270. What a clean number. And of course, it falls on probably the most important preview of the year for the NFL season for Super Bowl 56.
Yes, Super Bowl 56.
How about, since hopefully we don't get sued, the big game?
Yeah, let's
just go with that, because apparently it's trademarked to the point where you can't even say Super Bowl anymore.
It's something weird, but
whatever.
Nonetheless, Super Bowl Sunday, the most hype, but also the most disappointing Sunday of the year. The biggest game, while also the last football we will see in 7 months. So, bittersweet ending, as it always is. But I gotta say, this Super Bowl, probably one of the most hyped Super Bowls in a while.
I'm very excited for this one.
You know, because we don't have Tom Brady in it. We don't have Patrick Mahomes in it. We don't have, just teams that are always in it. These are two teams that, were not expected to reach a Super Bowl at all this season.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the storylines going behind the Super Bowl on both sides, right? On the Rams and the Bengals. So this should be a great Super Bowl. I'm really excited for it, honestly.
For sure. Before we get into the actual, preview and our talking points on it, I'd like to just first talk about the NFL awards that were given out yesterday, because they were, I think it's fair to say that most of these were unanimous, really all of these guys truly deserved it. And there's not really anything I can complain about out of the main ones. But so let's just first of all, let's mention that the assistant coach of the year was our boy Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. We love that, though. That's great. Yeah.
I was honestly I wanted to make the argument that we should not only consider head coaches as candidates for coach of the year, but we should really consider assistant coaches as well. I guess they get their own award, but I felt like the coach of the year this year was probably the one where I felt it could have gone to someone else, right?
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
When I first saw the tweet and I saw all the headlines going on, I really wasn't sold. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah.
So no, I don't think the one who won the coach of the year was necessarily deserving. Not deserving, but that won the award in my opinion. But I honestly felt that the impact that Dan Quinn brought as a defensive coordinator, but just as a coach in general, was so impactful to the point to where you can consider him as a coach of the year candidate.
The thing too is when it comes to Dan Quinn, there was a lot of restructuring in the NFL this season with coordinators, assistant coaches, all that for a lot of teams. But I think there could be a really good argument that Dan Quinn, as a defensive coordinator, as a coach, you saw the turnaround instantly right away, right? It was pretty clear cut and obvious that there was a dramatic change from last year to this year when it comes to these Cowboys defense. So yeah, good for Dan Quinn. That's our boy. We love him. I'm glad he got him. Congratulations. Love it.
Yeah, and so speaking of the coach of the year, that goes to Mike Vrabel from Tennessee. Okay, I understand it because the Tennessee Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And there was a turnaround. There was definitely a turnaround defensively for them. And that's where Mike Vrabel has to come into play.
Yeah.
Offensively, you did a lot of great things without your best player on the field.
Yeah.
However, when we look at the entire list of candidates or during the season who we thought was in the running for it.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel was nowhere near the top for me.
I completely agree. I do not think Mike Vrabel should have won that award at all.
Not even close. Like, let's say midway through the season when we did our like predictions for it. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
So, at that point it was Bill Belichick because New England was on a hot streak. Cliff Kingsbury with Arizona because they were one of the best teams in the regular season.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel was in the conversation, I would say. But there's probably like Mike McCarthy to Sean McVay, right? Like, I'm throwing out names here. When we're a day or a few days prior to the Super Bowl, and we don't consider Zach Taylor the coach of the year, when he literally was playing and coaching for his job this year. And how did he respond? He responded by getting them to the fucking Super Bowl. How do most coaches respond to, hey, if you don't show up this year, you're out of here? How do most coaches do that?
You either get a 5-win season or a just good enough 8-win season. That's it.
And you still get fired, but at least you save yourself the embarrassment, right?
At least you're looked at as a new candidate for somewhere else.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, you're gonna move on somewhere else, and then you might go back to a coordinator, but we'll hear from you in a couple years, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Zach Taylor just backs against the wall, started throwing haymakers. And here he is, about to go against Sean McVay, one of the best football geniuses in all of football, coming from his tree.
Who also would have made more sense, but anyway.
Maybe. I guess because we're just like so used to Sean McVay being so great.
Being the guy.
Being the great head coach that he is. Same thing with Bill Belichick. Like, Bill Belichick technically should win the award every year, right? Like other than last year, he should win every year.
Yeah.
But Zach Taylor, I don't know if he's going to do this again next year. I really don't. I would probably bet money on that this wouldn't happen next year.
Yeah.
But for 1 year, we've had those years like Jason Garrett or Matt Nagy. Like, thank you, because I couldn't remember the name. Like, to where those one-hit wonders happen.
Yeah.
This had to be one of those one-hit wonders for me.
Here's the thing, right? Even with those one-hit wonders, no matter if they were one-hit wonders, like, it doesn't matter. They literally changed their football team around 100%. Matt Nagy led the Bears to 11-5. Their kicking problems ended up ruining Jason Garrett with the Cowboys. It ended up being Daddy Rogers. But either way, it's just when you look at the differences between, like, how we're talking about, right? Like Mike Vrabel or Zach Taylor. Mike Vrabel, he's known for his defensive prowess, right? Okay, we all know for the last couple of years, that Titans secondary, joke, absolute clown show over there, 100%. To make that late season run with how good their defense was playing, losing Henry and bringing in D'Onta Foreman and what was the other guy? I forgot his first name. Was it Andre Hilliard? Is that what it was? Something like that. I forgot if it was Andre Hilliard or not. But those two running backs, they end up taking the role pretty well. A.J. Brown came back. He had a good season. Ryan Tannehill. Look, should Mike Vrabel be in the running? Yes. But should he have won? I'm just saying he's sitting on the couch while Zach Taylor's at the bowl.
He's been on the couch.
I'm just saying, and if I could already hear the arguments like, oh, well, you're just saying that because he's in the Super Bowl. No, dude, this guy was 2-14. Oh no, not 2-14. What was he? 4-12 last season.
4-12. Yeah.
4-12. 4-12 to the Super Bowl. Tell me how many times in the last couple of decades that's happened. Tell me.
The Cowboys.
This isn't a dream, man. Wake up.
Oh,
so look, Mike Vrabel, congratulations. This is no disrespect to you. You obviously you obviously deserve to be in the running, but winning, I don't know.
All right. Let's see. What's next here? Comeback player of the year. Now,
This one's a little dicey for me, personally.
I am not against it whatsoever, based
So
on what the second half of the season had to show.
I completely agree. So Joe Burrow winning comeback player of the year. Do I agree with it? Yes. Am I 100% on board?
Why?
No.
Why?
Okay.
How are you not sold?
So I would say I'm like 90% sold on Joe Burrow winning this award, right? Obviously, he had a horrific knee injury. You know, he come back, he literally leads his team to the Super Bowl. He has a great second half of the season. Unbelievable, right? Look, man. Just saying. Dak's stats look a little bad. I'm just saying. Look, Dak's stats are a little. Yeah, right, bro. You really think I'm gonna go on this whole entire rant? Let's be real. Joe Burrow.
Oh,
Joe Burrow won the fair and square.
you did the
I had you in the first half. Huh?
you had me in the first half. Yeah,
No, so the reason why I bring this up is because
bamboozled me.
I saw this argument on Twitter, right? And I saw this argument and it was like, oh, Joe Burrow winning comeback player of the year, like Dak had a better season, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh,
Someone's defending Dak?
Like wait a minute. First of all, technically when it comes to stats, yes, Dak Prescott did have a better season. Okay, whatever, right? But second of all, look, I think the Bengals and the Cowboys are structured very similarly this season, correct?
Yeah.
Who went farther? Who had more resilience?
Whose season is still going?
Whose season is still going? You know, and look, and I know that the award isn't based off a team, right? But look, man, Dak just shut down, man. He shut down, like, because at least with Burrow, right? Like with Burrow, it was like, okay, the beginning of the season, like, oh yeah, like Burrow's looking good. He looks healthy. He's playing well. Then the middle of the season, ooh, there was a little bump in the road, right? But then that last part of the season, oh Lord, this guy was throwing 400 like 3 straight games. Like he was out of his mind. He's played so calm, so composed in the playoffs. You know, whether we attribute this to, you know, Kellen Moore, whether we attribute this to Mike McCarthy, whatever it is, but we recently talked about this after the loss to the 49ers. Dak Prescott, you know, I love him with all my heart. He's my quarterback. But that killer instinct that we wish he had, like Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady, you know, I'm starting to believe it's just not there. It's just not there, you know. And with Joe Burrow, you know, I mean, look, Joe Burrow has been playing out of his mind these playoffs. There's been so many plays this postseason where I look at him just like, how in the hell is he pulling this shit off? Like seriously, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't say he put this team on his back because the defense has a lot to say for their postseason success, right? But Joe Burrow has put a lot on his back, and you know, an ACL tear, you don't come back from that. You don't. There's some players that do not come back from that, right? Look, I know it was a very tough decision between Dak and Joe for, you know, paper value, but I think the right decision was made here. I think Joe Burrow won this award fair and square.
When you just look at the similar opponents that they had for Dak and Joe had 2 games against the Kansas City Chiefs. Dak had 1. Yep. In both games, Joe Burrow took over.
Yep.
Dak shut out. First round of the playoffs, Dak completely falls under the pressure.
Yeah.
Does not realize what it takes in order to make the game his, and to basically have that killer instinct like I've talked about. Joe, in the same weekend, got sacked 9 times.
He still found the dub.
And still found a way to win. That's not all the credit to Joe, because statistically that wasn't his best game. But as the moments get bigger, Joe Burrow seems more calm.
He gets brighter.
He gets brighter. Dak, as the moment gets bigger, starts to get smaller.
And I'm very curious to see if one day it does come out, right, where, oh well, Kellen Moore or Mike McCarthy, they had this mindset during these games. But I don't know if we'll talk about him a little bit later. But there was a speech that was made by the MVP last night, and he said something that made a lot of people laugh. And that word is called trust. Why won't they trust Dak? Really? You have a generational talent at quarterback, and you're not going to let him fling because you're going to play conservative?
Generational is a bit much for me.
Do you think he's better than Tony Romo? Talent-wise?
Talent-wise, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising. Okay.
I think Dak can get to the point of using more of his mind than he does his body. Because that's what made Tony great, remember?
Yeah.
It was after the injuries where he realized, like, look, I'm not going to be able to do this that much longer with my body. I can't make plays with my body. I got to use my mind. I got to work smarter, not harder. Dak's, after that injury, has to realize that.
But, well, I don't want to get on this conversation because it'll be way too long. But either way, I'm just saying that we can obviously both agree that Dak is an amazing talent. And for the fact that he is getting, hindered by offensive struggle, offensive power difference or whatever, it's shameful. But
he does have to take responsibility, though. There's a lot of blame that has to go Dak's way, and I'm not saying this as a Dak hater. But there were moments throughout the season where I said Dak needs to step up and become the leader that we know he is.
Yes,
to say
100%.
I gotta do this. I'm not listening to the outside crowd nor the noise. I'm not listening to Kellen Moore. I gotta do what's best for my team, and they're gonna trust me. This team has to trust Dak.
And then on the other side, you have Joe Burrow in the playoffs, mind you. His headset goes out and calls at least half of a quarter and scores 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
by himself.
That, for me, if that happens to Dak, that's not happening.
It's
right now. It's not.
For now, Joe Burrow, congratulations, you do deserve this award. So
crazy how a year turnaround is.
Yeah,
torn ACL. Still not really a good offensive line, but yet he's Joe Shiesty.
Joe Cool, Joe Brr, Joe Franchise. Oh my goodness.
Our man, Micah Parsons.
If he would have not won this award, I would have thrown a fit. Because there's literally no one else that should have won this award but him.
It's not even close. So, like, the defensive rookie of the year was an automatic lock.
For Micah. 100%.
For Micah. Yet, I feel like the conversation more is about how he lost the defensive player of the year award.
But did you hear the news that came out, though?
If we're talking about the same thing, yes, my coworker told me this, and it shocked me. And I am terrified for anybody around the league.
Because, I don't think we're talking about the same thing then.
I'm going to go first because I want to confirm what I heard.
Okay.
Go first, sir.
Okay.
What news you heard?
So what I heard is that there was a point in the season where Micah hyperextended his knee.
Okay, so we're hearing the same thing. Now, I heard from a little birdie told me that it happened in the preseason.
I did not hear that. I heard it was in the middle of the season.
Fox Sports reports Cowboys' Micah Parsons played through knee injury all season.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. I thought it was through the middle of the season.
Which is even more impressive.
That is horrifying.
So let me get this straight. This man hyperextended his knee. If this happens to Jalen Smith, his career's over, right?
Zeke this season.
You're right. That's MCL. That's MCL. This is is it the same thing?
I mean, it's in
It's
the knee,
part
isn't it?
of
It's
the
part of the knee.
knee,
You
right?
know, yeah.
Micah Parsons is playing
Not 100%.
at, I would probably say 60 to 70%.
And he's that good.
He had to learn to switch to defensive end early in the season
On a bum knee.
on a bum knee and still put up almost the rookie record for most sacks in a season.
It's mind-blowing.
And
Absolute lock.
and he wins rookie defensive player of the year, but has a strong argument for defensive player of the year. What is he going to be at 100%?
Dude, it's very exciting to think about the prospect, right? But here's the thing that worries me, though. I swear, I really do feel like the Cowboys have a curse in the linebacker position. Every single linebacker that comes in and explodes into the scene as a Cowboy player, right? It's always injuries that take them out. Always. Look at Jalen, right? He comes in, he sits a year. His first 2 seasons, amazing. Come out, like, breakthrough player, absolutely crazy. Then we see him start getting these little minor injuries, and he's not as fast anymore. He's not the same. Look what happened to him now. Not even a Cowboy. Leighton, same thing. First year, amazing. Second year, a little bit of a drop off, but still good enough, right? But these last season and a half, yikes.
Oh, I would say last 3 years.
His back injury, his neck injury, it's just not good. Micah, please take care of yourself, my lord.
Nah, just move him to defensive end. He's not considered a linebacker anymore, and we're fine, right?
The curse has been lifted if he
Exactly.
moves. Yes.
Here's
100%.
another way of looking at it: glass half empty. This could be another wasted talent for the Cowboys. Like
I feel
how
like that's all the Cowboys are now, though, right? Like
Right.
it's just a bunch of these great players that come, they have their small moment of fame because of how good they are, and then they just get washed away because that's how it is.
Micah's gonna be that guy, and I'm already like I prepared for it. He's going to spend, let's say, the next 4 to 5 years with the Cowboys. He still has 3 years left in his rookie contract. I'd say he probably signs an extension for about 2 years. They'll probably get him for longer, but he doesn't want to do that because he can get big money elsewhere. They are going to waste his time here. He's going to fall into the category of DeMarcus Ware because I already sense that he is very much like DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
I'm going to love him. No matter what happens to his team, I'm going to love him
Wherever
playing.
he goes, 100%.
And wherever he goes, I'm going to cheer for him more than I would if he was still in the Cowboys. And he's going to win somewhere else. He's going to go to a team that is a contender because he hasn't been having that in his time with Dallas. He's going to go with somebody 6-7 years down the road, maybe not as athletic and as agile as he once was, but still a predominant guy that you could put on the defensive line. He's going to win somewhere else, and I'm going to be very, very happy for him. And he's going to go down as one of the greats. He's just not going to do that with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's going to be remembered for winning somewhere else.
At least for now, though, let's celebrate the fact that, let's celebrate his accomplishment. Let's celebrate his play. Congratulations. I only have a water bottle, but
Hey, that
salud.
works.
Salud to Micah
Shout out
Parsons.
to hyperextended knees on freak of nature athletes.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Here's the next one though, right? And this one, here's the thing, right? Here's what I saw it. Jamar Chase wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? I agree. I completely agree. I think he should have won it hands down.
Credit to you because you called it. And I was like, no, it's probably going to go to Mac Jones because the Jamar kind of fell off a little bit midway through the season. And then same thing with Burrow. He just exploded. So credit to you.
Thank you. Here's the thing, though, right? So Jamar Chase winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, 100% agree. It should go completely to him. There's no doubt. But here's the thing. Mac Jones isn't flashy, But can we agree that there was an argument for him? There was an argument for Mac Jones.
Yes, but it's the same thing with Joe Burrow and Dak.
It's
the exact same thing.
Because Mac Jones, the way he played in the position that he was put in his first season, extreme pressure, replacing the GOAT, right? For what he was able to pull off and the way how he handled it, that deserves extreme credit, in my opinion, from everybody in the league.
Yes.
But he's just not flashy, and that's what the awards are nowadays. And look, Jamar Chase had a record-breaking season, literally. So that's why I'm saying that the award going to him makes 100% sense. I get it. I 100% agree. But Mac Jones really had a good season for what he was given and for what he was, the position he was put in, especially with someone like Bill Belichick, right? Everybody, Bill Belichick makes everybody look good. But, I really hope that Mac Jones doesn't get slept on because of this.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The way that I look at that is like, let's look at both of their seasons and how they started from like preseason, first weeks in the regular season. We saw Mac Jones like steady, like not flat line. He's probably inclining a little bit as the weeks go on. He starts to develop his arm a little bit more. He starts to throw downfield, get his confidence up, and he just feels like he's fit into the system, right? So it's just a steady, you're building up, but like it's not crazy. It's not a roller coaster, right? With Jamar, how do we start? We start in the preseason down here where they were saying he's gonna flop because he can't see the ball.
Because he couldn't see the white strip.
Like
what?
He was used to a college football rather than the NFL ball. That's ridiculous. And so we just automatically said, like, oh, well, he's going to flop because he can't see the ball. How are you going to catch the ball if you can't see it? And then we just skyrocket to the moon, baby.
Literally, he went to the moon. And then there was a small, what's the saying? I forgot the saying, but he hit his ceiling for a little bit. He calmed down. He went a little cold, and then Joe Shiesty was like, "Oh, let me help you win that award." Boom, went back to the moon.
I could fix that.
Oh my god, yeah, Jamar Chase. Those games against the Ravens, he literally owns the Ravens. He owns them.
He owns most of the contenders in the AFC.
He owns the Chiefs.
The Chiefs game. Can we just remember that he had like over 200 yards easy?
Yeah, like 266 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
Stupid, ridiculous, dumb.
I think it was I completely understand where you're coming from though. Like Mac Jones isn't gonna win that award because he's not sexy when it comes to his play. But Jamar, he had a Justin Jefferson year, and if you're gonna give it to Justin Jefferson, you're gonna give it to Jamar, right?
One thing I will say before we move on to the next one, though, is now that Josh McDaniels is gone, maybe Mac Jones will get the opportunity to sling it. Never know. We'll see.
Yeah. I think he doesn't have the best arm. There were some throws in that Buffalo game where I felt like, oh, wow. Like the interception. I will applaud Mac Jones for that throw because it was actually a really good throw. It was just played very well by the defender. But that was a very beautiful throw that just didn't go his way. So I think he has the arm. I think he's got to work on his accuracy a little bit more down the field. But if he can develop that in year 2, year 3, Mac Jones can be a solid guy in the AFC. He really can be, and I'm cheering for him.
For sure.
TJ Watt, like, it's obvious, right? Like,
there's literally no argument. If you want to give the Micah Parsons argument, sure, fair enough, whatever. But TJ Watt tied the single season sack record. Yeah. And mind you, he was out 4 games. So you can't use the excuse of, oh, there's one more game. No, he did it in less.
If he didn't tie the record, I think that's where you can make an even stronger argument for Micah Parsons because of those 4 games that he missed.
Yeah.
That was
But
my thing. I didn't think TJ Watt should have won the award, like late in the season because of those, like the injury and those games missed. But once he tied the record, I was like, there's no way he's not winning this.
He basically tied the record in 13 games. That's insane.
He did have an extra game, though.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Doesn't count. But
I guess.
You also got to consider the fact that they snubbed him last year. So they made
did
up for it.
Yes, they did. Yeah. They completely did.
Mm-hmm. The best moment of the year somehow goes to Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal. Now, granted, Justin Tucker's greatest kicker of all time, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like not even close. Vanateri, cool. Gostkowski, cool. Justin Tucker's better. 66 yards is amazing. He also did it against the Lions. So, how can I say that's the best moment of the year? Like, there's
66 yards, though.
Is it the best moment of the year?
What was the best moment of the year to you?
What was a crazy thing that happened?
Like so here's the thing, right?
But my first instinct doesn't go to the 66-yard field goal.
I understand what you mean, but here's my problem with some people, right? I'm talking to you, Skip Bayless. Freaking hate that guy. Skip Bayless is #1 kicker hater in the league, right? I would like to see you try a 40-yard field goal. Like I don't think people here understand how hard it is to kick a field goal in the NFL.
Yeah.
Mind you, kicking a 66-yarder to win the game? Look, I get your point. I know when you think of the NFL, you don't think of, oh my God, a kicker winning the game and tying the record.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem is that they're making rules to where you really don't need a kicker. And the way that the NFL's going, like 2-point conversions, like the offense are just dominating.
They're going for 4th down,
Like you're taking the kickers out of the game. Eventually, kickoffs are going to be done. Like kickoffs are nowhere going to be found in this league, probably in like 5 years. I think it should happen. It's eventually going to happen because of how dangerous it is. So that leaves the kicker with kicking extra points that they keep missing and field goals that you go for it on 4th down. The only exception to that rule is Justin Tucker, right? But why should we base the best moment of the NFL season as a kick?
Okay, fair enough. If that's the argument you want to put, I'll give it to you. What was the best moment of the season in your opinion then?
You are putting me on the spot, and I don't have an answer for you, but it's definitely not a 66-yard field goal.
Okay, fair enough. If that's how,
agree to disagree, sir.
Agree to disagree. I'm just saying, 66 yards. I can't even kick it 30 yards. Let's be real.
I could probably kick it 30 yards.
Look,
who are you trusting more? Who are you trusting more? Me to kick it or Greg Zuerlein?
Next question.
Exactly. Now, do we disagree on this? Because I called it at the beginning of the season, but halfway through I changed it. MVP Aaron Rodgers. I said this man doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's gonna play his heart out for Green Bay, even though he doesn't give a shit about them, and then he's gonna leave. That's exactly what he did.
He won the MVP.
He won the MVP.
Oh wait! Excuse you, sir. Excuse you. How extremely disrespectful of you to skip over White Lightning himself, Cooper Kupp.
I'm so sorry.
My goodness.
I did miss that. I did miss
that.
I'm so sorry.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Gilbert and I were talking about it last night, and I said, "Oh yeah, like probably Jonathan Taylor, right? Because Jonathan Taylor had a great season.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp is just." Mind you, let's be real, right? When you think of who was going to have the best season out of a wide receiver, no one thought Cooper Kupp.
Like, he was gonna have a good fantasy year.
Yeah, for sure.
But not a historic record-breaking year.
You think of, like, Tay Adams, you think of DeAndre Hopkins, you think of, Calvin Ridley because he's been on the rise, Stephon Diggs, maybe JJ with his, because JJ's been having, like, his type of rising. But Cooper Kupp, old reliable, now turning to historical season? That's insane.
Can I ask you this, like, real quick? I heard this, like, on the way home, like, they were talking about it on the radio, and they were like, if you could choose 3 wide receivers Let's say like you're teaching someone how to play wide receiver. Like your son wants to play it, right? What 3 guys are you saying, look at them, watch them, and watch how they play? And that's how you should like embody the wide receiver position.
Like,
There's different ways you can do this. You can clearly go for the best of all time, but the best of all time were like freaks, right? Like your son's not gonna be Jerry Rice. He's not gonna be Megatron.
Of course.
So you could go that route where you just say the best receivers of all time, or you can base it off of like, let's be realistic and judge a guy who's like average built. You know, he's not the fastest, he's not the most agile, but he gets the job done and he does it very well. Like he perfects his game the best way that he can, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is Cooper Kupp in that conversation?
When you think about it, you know, because here's the thing, right? Everybody has always talked about Cooper Kupp having like some of the best fundamentals in the league, right? You know, because if we're talking about the conversation in like this way, right? We could also put Cole Beasley in the conversation, right?
Hunter
Renfrow, right? So, you know, like Cooper Kupp, Cole Beasley, Hunter Renfrow, Amari Cooper for his route running ability, right? Those 4 receivers, right? They're not the best in the league by far. Well, Cooper Kupp was this year, but you know, in general conversation, you don't think of those 4 as the best in the league. But fundamental wise, if you're talking about it in that argument, you have to put them in there, right? You know, so it's honestly, I think this season was a really great season for the wide receiver position because you don't have to be a big name in order to be the best in the league, right? You know, because last year, obviously, it was Tay Adams. Tay Adams by far was the best wide receiver in the league last year. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought it was going to be the same thing this year. Why wouldn't it be, right? There's no change from what happened between him and Rodgers. But Kupp came in and stole the show with Stafford, you know? So, Cooper Kupp, I love it. I love that he won. I love it so much.
No, it's the right choice, and like he was in the conversation for MVP too. But it's just so driven by the quarterback that you're never gonna have a wide receiver like Cooper Kupp win the MVP award.
Speaking of the MVP, so we can go to the Super Bowl thoughts really quick. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Don't you love how this is playing out?
I love it because of how much hate Aaron Rodgers gets, and he's just saying big fuck you to everybody.
I love that this is happening. I love it with all my heart.
But
no, not but actually.
I'm putting a but.
Oh, you're putting a but?
I'm
not putting a but at all.
I'm putting a but.
No, I love this with all my heart, and I'll say it really quick. He comes into this season, Green Bay, either you give me more control and you give me what I want, or I'm fucking leaving. Literally what he said, and they were like, fine, Aaron, go out there and do what you gotta do.
Get Randall Cobb now.
Go out there and do what you gotta do, right? Matt, step aside, let Aaron do more. Okay, he did it. They got to the playoffs. The 49ers happened because for some whatever reason, a team with a pretty boy quarterback that cannot throw more than 150 yards a game somehow still beats them. I don't know. It is what it is. But dude, Aaron Rodgers balled out this season. Have you seen his last 5 seasons? He has not had more than 8 interceptions in the last 5 seasons consecutively. Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Some of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in our lifetimes on average throw 9, 10, sometimes a little more than 10.
And we still think that number is great.
But think about this. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 interceptions this season. And might I add, 3 of them were in the first game of the season. So that means for 16 games, he threw 1 interception. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. He wins MVP in his final year, and now he's literally telling Green Bay, later. I'm tired of choking in the playoffs. I don't know what it is about this team. Green Bay, thank you, but not the front organization. Bye. Going to Denver or San Fran. I don't know whatever the hell they want to do, but
Or Tampa.
or Tampa.
He
You
could
never
go to
know.
Tampa.
He could go to Tampa. So, I love it. I love this so much. I love the back-to-back, and here comes his butt.
But he's not 44 years old and still throwing dime. Tom Brady deserved that award one last time. He is 44. Aaron Rodgers looks 44. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the hair. But he is not aging well. You know who ages well? Like a fine wine, like from Italia, from Tuscany, Italia.
Brady's more handsome like now than he was when he first got drafted.
I think the exact same thing. That man looked weird when he got drafted. And like, you know how they show like the faces, the progression? It freaks me out. And then like the one this year was pretty weird because he just stared into the camera.
Yeah.
He's 44 years old and retired, still in his prime. Still.
It's insane to me. Like he's just so good.
I
don't
get it,
understand.
and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad that Aaron Rodgers won because I called it, and he is still one of the best quarterbacks in this league, and he put up numbers. But the 44-year-old piece of gold deserved better.
You know who else deserved better? Josh Allen. Did you see that? Did you see that little piece?
No.
Him and Keegan, because you know Keegan hosted.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Look.
He deserves.
I mean, they're throwing shots at everybody.
As they should.
Yeah, like when they mentioned Sean Payton, and then they're like, he's gonna take Mike McCarthy's job, and everyone's like, I was like, oh my god.
Don't do that.
Jerry's gonna get ideas, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But look. I get your point. Tom Brady, he did deserve he maybe deserved it, but I love the storyline so much with Aaron. I love it so much.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how petty he is. You gotta love it. Like you gotta embrace it at this point. All right, Super Bowl time, with like 12 minutes left.
Super Bowl time. This is quick. We don't even need 12 minutes. It's quick.
Sir, before we get to our actual predictions and what we think is going to happen in this game,
Okay.
I'd like to ask you the dirty questions. The questions that need to be answered about the Super Bowl.
Okay. Go for it.
Number 1.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
Well, I'm asking it anyways.
Okay.
Which company airs the first commercial after the coin toss?
That's a good one. You know what? I'm gonna go with the classic. I'm gonna go with Budweiser.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with that one because I was thinking Budweiser too, because we always think that Budweiser has the best commercials. Like over the last 5 to 7 years, I would say Budweiser.
The Stallion and the Puppy, GOAT commercial.
Crying. But they usually do that around like middle part of the game to get you back into it, and then they get your emotions going.
Okay.
So I see a pattern there. I'm going to go with Bud Light.
Oh.
Because Bud Light's not memorable, but it's always there.
That's true.
So both Budweiser and Bud Light have the same odds, though. So if you want to make some bets, go right ahead.
Okay.
Gets harder. What's the first song performed at the halftime show?
Oh, man. You know... Dang, that's a hard one.
It's a matter of who comes out first, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's Eminem, clearly it's Lose Yourself. Has to be Lose Yourself.
I think Eminem has to come out first, right? Maybe, or would it be Dr. Dre because he's like the OG?
I think you start off with the headliner, which is Eminem, in the popular eye, right?
Yeah.
Plus his hands are his palms are sweaty, his knees are weak. Mom's spaghetti.
You know, the spaghetti part might get you.
He already has vomit on his sweater.
Already, you know. Or you know what? Or you know what? I would not be surprised if they whip out the Young Gun right away with Kendrick. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised. Like they started off with Kendrick, the familiar face,
Yeah.
but then they start going back in time with rap, right? And then maybe Dr. Dre is last because he's the OG, and
Oh, you might be onto something there.
Never know. Never know.
I'm gonna put my betting odds on that.
Yeah.
Sir, what color will the Gatorade that is dumped on the head coach be?
Oh, that's a good one. I've
I
always
love how
I love
much
that. I love
attention
that.
this is getting over the last couple days.
No. Okay. Hear me out. I think. Okay, I won't say it this way.
Can I give you choices?
Okay, yes, go for it. Go.
Orange,
Okay.
clear or white, yellow,
Ooh.
red, blue, purple.
You know what? I'm gonna go for the oddball here. I'm gonna say purple.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
okay.
say purple. I'm gonna say
Okay.
purple. I'm gonna say
Purple is plus 1,800. So if you bet $100,
Really?
you could possibly win $1,800.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. You
not
know,
bad.
this is not the best odds, but I just got a feeling, and I feel like it's the common one. Orange.
Orange, right? Or orange because of the Bengals, right?
Orange makes the most sense to me.
Orange and blue makes the most sense for obvious reasons,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like you never know. What if they're trying to throw an oddball and they say, you know what? Let's go with purple. Let's just go with purple. Why
If
not?
the Bengals win, you would assume that Zach Taylor's wearing white. He's wearing like a white windbreaker.
So they're gonna dump him. with
Dump
the
orange so you can
right?
get the white orange.
Well, Sean usually always wears
the
blue.
blue.
All the time. What if they want to throw a curveball and say, "Hey, purple"? I mean, look, you never know. I'm gonna go with the oddball though, purple. I'm
like
trying
this.
to win 1,800.
I
I'm trying
like
to win
this.
1,800.
By the way, this is what on the last episode I wanted to talk about, but we didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
This was what I was talking about.
okay.
Kevin, most important
Yes.
question.
Okay.
How many times will the chains be used for measurement? Will it be over 1.5? Under 1.5?
Wow. No, you know what? Okay, hear me out, right? So far, the Rams and the Bengals have always played really, really close games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over.
Okay.
I really feel like this game is gonna have a lot of crazy moments going on. I'm gonna say over.
I'm going to go under.
Oh.
I'm going to go under. I feel like this season I haven't had the moments where I'm like, you got to use the chains. You got to do the measurement.
Okay.
I sense that no matter what happens, even if it's short on a fourth down or going into a fourth down, they go for it anyways. They don't give a fuck about measurements.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like
But
just throw the ball to Jamar and he does the gritty for the first down.
you know what? I'm just trying to be a rebel, and I'll say that there's gonna be another card situation.
Oh, we're pulling out the index card?
There's another index card situation. How about that?
Ooh.
How about that?
Over,
You never know.
under, and how many index cards are being used? One or
I say just one.
Just
That's
one?
it, just one. But
Okay.
but the chains will be used more than once.
Okay.
For sure.
Sure. I love how heated this became.
Mm.
It's time.
Oh
Your
my.
final prediction
Oh
for
my.
Super
Oh
Bowl
my.
56 question mark because we don't know the number anymore.
I think it's 56. Okay. I'm gonna say like this. Whoever wins this Super Bowl, I am extremely happy.
Your mom's a hoe.
No. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, I am extremely happy. Matt Stafford gets his well-deserved Super Bowl finally after all the bullshit he went through. OBJ, Baker Mayfield, get out of my sight. He finally proves himself. He never left. Happy for the Rams. But look, man,
Do it.
I don't see Matt Stafford walking in with Cartier shades into the stadium, bro.
For coat?
I don't see him wearing a chain on a black turtleneck. Bengals 28, Rams 21.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like it.
Wait, you know what? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I rescind the scoreline.
Bring it back. Put it in reverse.
Bang-
Tear.
Bengals 31, Rams 28, and Shooter McPherson goes down.
Shooter!
He goes down a legend and makes the Super Bowl game-winning field goal as it should be.
Oh my God!
As it should be.
I am in love with that.
Dude, think about it. Think about it, right? Matt Stafford just threw a touchdown to OBJ. Scores 28-28. 30 seconds left. Joe Shiesty gets the ball at the 25. He throws a quick pass to Jamar. Throws one to Tyler Boyd. Throws another one to Jamar. And Joe Moneyman Mixon runs up the middle right there for shooter's range. Timeout. Shooter gets on the field. The snapper gets the ball. He snaps the ball, I'm sorry. The punter holds its place.
Shooter!
31-28. Bengals win the Super Bowl. Joe Shiesty, MVP. Hello? Hello?
All right, sir.
Was that the most generic prediction ever?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
The Titans sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. 9 times for Ferris Bueller fans out there.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sacked like 20 times this game.
There is absolutely no way that Von Miller and Aaron Donald don't get to Joe Burrow at least 4 times in this game.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Yes.
This game has to be won in the trenches. Now, on the opposite side, you'll have Andrew Whitworth versus Trey Hendrickson. An absolute phenomenal
What a matchup, huh?
Love the matchup.
My goodness.
It is going to be so hard for Joe Burrow to find time to get down the field. And I am so terrified to see how bad this Rams defense is going to clobber him all day long because this offensive line is not holding up.
Might I add, Jalen versus Jamar?
That is great.
That's great. Love it.
Just love it so much. I can't get away from the fact that it's the offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals that give up 9 sacks in a playoff game.
That's like the negative X factor, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
I just can't get my mind off of that.
Yeah.
Little by little, day by day, leading up to this game, there's something in me, a little voice in my head that just says, do it. Do it. Like the Sith Lord in Star Wars. That's why I wore this shirt, Kevin. It was planned all along.
I was about to make an Attack on Titan reference, but you don't watch Attack on Titan, so you wouldn't get it. So I'll go with the Star Wars reference. I'll go along with you.
You almost ruined the moment. I get back into the moment.
Go for it. Go for it.
Sith Lord in my mind. Something is telling me that it's going to be different.
Okay.
That it's going to be a home field advantage game for the Bengals.
Oh my God.
The game is in LA and there's going to be more Bengals fans than there is Rams fans. I can't get away from the Rams offense or the Bengals offensive line being so bad. But how many times has Joe Burrow looked at that offensive line and said, okay, that's fine. All right, that's okay. That's fine. Like Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow lives rent-free in my head.
He does live rent-free in my head.
As the trains pass by, we roll on with Joe Burrow winning it all, baby!
Thank God.
Cincinnati Bengals, 35. Rams, 21. The game is won because Matthew Stafford throws for 3 interceptions.
Oh my
Trey
Lord.
Hendrickson gets 3 sacks. What's 3 times 3, Kevin?
9.
Who's number 9? It's Joe Shiesty!
Oh. Oh my goodness. So basically what we're saying is who dey?
Why not us?
Who dey? Why not them, right?
Why not them? The Bengals, you heard it here first.
Bengals winning.
Unanimously, the Cincinnati Bengals will win Super Bowl 56 in SoFi Stadium on Sunday.
You know what? I'm gonna put it right here on this podcast right now. If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, I will buy a Joe Burrow jersey.
No. I'll do you one better, sir.
Oh my God. Okay.
If Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl, we are both getting a Joe Burrow jersey. 100%. Color Rush, by the way. We're getting the Color Rush.
Orange, yes.
And we will not do an episode together until we get the jersey and we wear them on the episode.
100%. I agree. We'll do. This is the video proof right here.
I am rock hard right now. Thank you so much for listening and watching to episode 270 of the Bubba Lutz Sports Podcast. Kevin, Baby Yoda, Bubba Lutz, bringing you the great content. We'll see you after the Super Bowl with the Joe. Why not us?
Yeah. Hold on, tell me who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now, dead or alive, huh? And how much do you care about a ring if the best player got carried by the team?